But in Egypt is bracing for political fallout from its plan to implement a harsh austerity program. The International Monetary Fund wants the belt-tightening measures in place before it releases a $4.8 billion loan. The country's leaders say the funds may provide the only way out of an economic crisis. Yasser Hakim has our story.
2 years of continuous demonstrations resulted in multiple economic hardships for Egypt, which are being felt now in several sectors of the economy.
The foreign currency reserve dropped 70% to the dangerous level of 15 billion, enough to cover Egypt's basic needs for only 3 months. Tourism dropped 60%, foreign investments is non-existent, and the internal and external debt has reached a record $200 billion.
The government resorted to the IMF for a $4.8 billion loan, but the IMF demanded austerity measures to be implemented to reduce budget deficit and guarantee debt repayment.
The IMF has approved a set of measures such as tax increase and reforms, cuts in subsidies of several goods such as food products, oil and petrol. When the government tried to implement these steps last month, there was public outrage and the measures were upheld.
The president replaced the finance minister with a new minister from his ruling party to adopt reforms gradually to avoid public unrest. He started with devaluation of the local currency and invited the IMF to resume negotiations after a month's delay.
The IMF wanted commitments from the government this week that those measures will still go ahead. The IMF also needed assurances that the austerity economic plan will not cause political unrest or instability in the streets.
The government is also working on parliamentary approval to issue Islamic bonds. It says these bonds will attract an estimated $16 billion in 1 year. This amount will help ease the strain on the economy. The Prime Minister says that once the IMF loan is signed, Egypt will receive $14 billion of grants and loans from other donor countries as well. But time is of essence. Political unrest has led to the postponement of this deal before. The government will make sure this does not happen again. Yasser Hakim for CCTV, Cairo.